Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Gisborne Oval. Ben O'Brien from Tobias Horsfield, and this is absolutely fantastic. Live coverage on Rangai of this game in honour of His Majesty King Charles III, the Queen's Birthday Weekend match, game 174. Poverty Bay 126 wins, the Coast 42, 5 draws. Teams in the middle now, Toby, and of course you've got the Poverty Bay team.
Yeah, Ben. So starting off with number 1 for Poverty Bay, you've got Nehi Papuni. Number 2, co-captaining today's team, Shade Scudder. Number 3, Lance Dixon. Number 4, Willis Tamatea. Number 5, Harawira Kayukura. Number 6, Kian Westrup. Number 7, Keanu Tomota. Number 8, Stuart Leach. Number 9, Rawdi Broughton. Number 10, also co-captain with Shade Scudder, Calvin Smith. Number 11, Tapihi Fairley. Number 12, Mitchell Purvis. Number 13, Tana Pody. Number 14, Bosca Tiki Sedri. Number 15, Ricardo Patricio.
Well, that's a very good effort, Tobias. Let me tell you, there were some late changes, though you might not believe it. You might not believe it, ladies and gentlemen, but there were some late changes to today's team. That is the Coast team. The Coast team, 1 to 15, Hakarangi Tichborne, Joe Royal, and here is the haka. We'll continue after the haka. So, Ngati Pro East Coast, numbers 1 to 15, Hakarangi Tichborne, Joe Royal, Jody Tuhaka, Frank Taipa, Richard Green, Mitch Croswell, Will Bollingford, Hone Hairewa, Hamawera, Moana Baker, Te Rangi Fraser, Tipini Mehana, Tiaho Morris, Apirana Pifairangi, wow, Manahi Tepoki, and Chris Palmer. So some late changes. Tobias, the scene is set. Look at the condition of the ground. Look at the crowd. I told you it would be a big day, and it's a big day.
Yeah, Ben. It's awesome to see so many people here for King's birthday. Just the game, it's been on for 100 years. It's the 100th game today. It's awesome to see both teams mixing it up with their haka as well. Ben, just as you said, field's looking amazing. Everything about the oval is amazing.
The scene is set. Damien McPherson in the middle. The 100th year of this clash. The 175th game today, or 174th game today. And of course, it is a wonderful day that dawns a new era. 70 odd years since the last King's Birthday Weekend. His Majesty here, of course, last here in 1983.
Calvin Smith for the kickoff.
Absolutely, Calvin Smith, one of the co-captains. A clever move by the Bay to have these co-captains, Tobias.
Definitely, Ben.
The Coast in the white and blue strip from right to left of your screen. The Bay in the scarlet and white. from left to right. Te Rangi Fraser, big first five with a big boot.
Oh, that's a slow drop from Patricio.
Unfortunately, Ricardo Patricio's first touch. Ngarapus Patricio underneath the high ball. Well, it's the nerves. It's the occasion. It is an historic occasion.
Unlucky touch.
Tobias, what do you do as a player? Do you forget about it, or do you think about what you should do better next time? How exactly do you do it?
Definitely think about how you can do it better, Ben. When you think about it, it's the first touch. Polly got a little bit nervous, but he's allowed to be nervous.
The Coast showing with that boot there. They're going to ask the question. The Coast are together. They've been together long, around about, 24 hours? 24 hours. But of course, don't forget, the Coast under All Black 1,079. Jose's only been back, 48 hours or something like that. Get these guys on the pitch. They look good, they look fit, they've got some big names. And of course, they're the Lahore Cup champions. They've got a point to prove, Tobias.
Yeah, definitely, Ben. It'll be so good to see on how this team works out today. Like just as she said, they've been together, 24 hours? 24 to 48 hours this team's been together. And that's awesome. Oh, quick penalty from Poverty Bay.
Okay, they tapped and ran. That was Ra Broughton. I don't know if a mark had actually been made there. I know you've got to do whatever you're going to do from the mark, but they didn't give referee McPherson a chance to make a mark. Referee Damien McPherson, of course, 37 years of age, one of only a few referees to have controlled 5 straight grand finals. Farm manager McPherson. With, of course, Terry Reeves on the near side, AR2 and AR1, Ben Holt on the other side. Even for the officials, I'd imagine, Tobias, there would have to be nerves.
Yeah, Ben, obviously, just from the start of the game, I was talking to Joel Pearce. He was excited to be on this game today.
Nervous to be here, nervous to be alive. Okay, penalty now, the Coast. The Coast have just received their first penalty from referee McPherson. 6 first-class appointments for referee McPherson. This game today, though, this game has special pressure associated with it. There's possibly no pressure in the country at our level of rugby, Tobias, than you experience with Poverty Bay and East Coast. If you can't handle pressure, it's the wrong place for you.
Oh, that's an awesome clear.
It's a magnificent touch. The Coast have brains. The Coast have playmakers. The Coast have finishers. I love the way these days, Tobias, have you noticed in the program, they don't call them reserves anymore. They call them finishers. That's a neat touch.
Yeah, Ben, that's what I like. That's what I was watching. I was looking on the Gisborne Boys High School rugby page, and that's exactly what they got. They got starters and finishers. What an awesome way to put and to use that in a team.
Yeah, the whole mentality's different. The Coast with a throw, Joe Royal, still turning up for the Pacific Cup.
That would have been a turnover from Stuart Leach.
Stuart Leach is going to create problems where he can at line-out time for the Coast. One of the Bay's best forwards, one of the fittest. Joe Royal, though, how about that? 1 minute he's playing for Ponsonby. He's enjoying what he must imagine is the twilight of his career. Next he gets called back up and he's playing Super Rugby, coming off the bench admittedly. Wow, what a thrill. Hey, Tobias, guess what? You're never too old. You're as old as you feel. Till someone reminds you. Hamuera, halfback, good passer, good strong, all-round player, good tackler, good runner, fleet of foot, quick of mind. Hamuera feeds the Coast scrum, good scrum.
Good scrum to the Coast.
Unsurprising when you consider their personnel. Number 8, Honi Haida, where the Coast, of course, famed for their play in the tight.
Penalty to the East Coast.
So that's the first scrum penalty awarded here by referee McPherson. The Bay for the last few minutes.
They're gonna
under some pressure. So the Coast's back row, Mitch Croswell, Will Bollingford, Honi Haidewa. It's a good back row by anyone's standards. One of the changes that they made to the starting lineup, Will Bollingford had been number 8 and Honi Haidewa open side. Honi Haidewa was number 8, now Bollingford's moved to the open side. They're all very good players, well performed. On the Bay side of the ledger, of course, Lech and Keanu Taumata, an OBM player, a quality player, Keanu Taumata. Second cap today.
Good scrum from both. Oh, that's a loose ball out.
Rangi Fraser, big strong guy. Has the Bay succeeded in stripping him of the ball? Ball is on the ground now, it's a ruck. Coast probing on the left. Some big front row forwards, of course, with Tichborne, Royal and Tuhaka. Coast continue to probe. It's a lovely day, but that bent of theirs, that forward play,
Awesome defence being shown here by Poverty Bay, Ben.
it's being tested. Advantage the Coast. Advantage the Coast. Some good play here from Ngati Pro East Coast.
Oh,
And the Coast look good. The Coast towards the corner.
oh, and that's out.
Okay,
Poverty Bay with their try save.
Poverty Bay under pressure, but referee McPherson, of course, playing under advantage there, East Coast. You know, that's an easy thing for a referee to forget, that there was advantage being played. Where's Jody Tuhaka? He's in close.
tap.
He was on hand, Tuhaka. So the Coast asking questions here at
And
the
that's
start
a
of the game.
try.
Tremendous first try to Ngati Pro East Coast up 5-0. Well, the Coast, you know, really, it goes back to that drop ball. Ever since then, the Coast has had an opportunity to apply pressure. That's exactly what they've done. Tobias, a glorious start for the Sky Blues.
Yeah, Van, it just showed from when they picked up their penalty, when they had numbers out on the side and then they just used it quickly, like to what Ricky Tedekere did last week, and he just took their ball and just ran. Exactly what the Bray was thinking, smart thinking, early points. Now he's got 5 points on the board.
How do you do that? They're up 7-0. How do you come together within around about 48 hours? You sit here, you sit there, and come up with a try like that. It was purposeful, it was disciplined. Poverty Bay, you know, a good team, a very capable team under Maini Kora. Played for Connaught in his time. Of course, the Coast have got people that have played all over the show as well, and some debutants too. We'll tell you more about as play goes on. So Poverty Bay back at halfway, trailing now by 7 points. Coast with an excellent first try. This is a glorious day for rugby. It really is. Calvin Smith goes long with the restart. Coast have the ball, looking into the sun. So the Bay understandably push it up there.
Oh,
Very different conditions here today than in the last meeting that is, between the Bay and the Coast at Rugby Park. Another penalty here to the Coast. It was pouring with rain, mud, 12-10. Ain't going to be 12-10 today. Going to be try scored today.
well, I'm excited, Ben.
Well, look at the turnout here. At a conservative estimate, around about 1,300 here at the moment. And they are lining the sides of the ground. Big numbers. Look at that, the enthusiasm of Joe Royal. Joe Royal to throw the ball into play. Last 2 years, he's been reborn, I think. He's loved his rugby. He's fallen in love with rugby again. The throw
Oh, and
was as
the mean
straight as
lineup.
it was as straight as
Oh!
he could get it. Stuff there. Hakarangi Tichborne was a Heartland player last year with a good run. Poverty Bay once more inside their own 22.
Oh!
Trying to come up with something.
Oh!
Of course, Te Pehi Fairley.
Oh, it's all away!
This
Black
is
City Cars!
outstanding stuff from Te Pehi Fairley. So Te Pehi Fairley makes a break. That's what Poverty Bay needed. Tika Sidre over here on the right wing, don't forget. Poverty Bay with the ball now. Here's Patricio.
Oh, Patricio!
He's had one touch, held on to the ball, made a good decision there.
Oh, it's
Didn't
been
give the
turned
back pass,
over.
but he has turned it over. And the Coast
Oh, it's
have
been
the
turned
ball.
over!
The Coast have the ball with pace. Tiffany Mehana given to us in the 11, so watch for him. Tiffany Mehana, of Uwawa. They run hard, the
awesome
Coast.
defence being shown by Poverty Bay, Ben.
Hard shoulders, absolutely. Joe Royal! Royal, what was he going to do? Royal was in two minds. Royal stood there just for a moment. Here's our Hone Haidewa.
I'll chip over him.
Okay, Poverty Bay now have the ball, Keanu Taumata. But the world stood still for a Joe
Penalty to
Royal.
Poverty Bay.
Well, referee McPherson is going to be doing well to keep up with play here. I wondered what was wrong, what had happened. Joe Royal caught the ball, and he stood there and he just stared at the opposition. And, you know, the things you see at rugby. Tell you what, we've got some, absolutely, we've got some wonderful things happening here. I can't believe they can hear us from out on the ground, Toby. I mean, how does that happen?
Oh, Ben, that's awesome.
It is. Well, I tell you what an honour it is today to have such as the patron of the East Coast Rugby Union, Mr. Bill Burdett, to have important people from Poverty Bay, big names here. An honour to have them here. Bay to throw in, Shade Scudder, co-captain Shade Scudder. Who does he go to? Is it Harawira Kokura? It is. Harawira, a very good ball winner for OBM and for Poverty Bay.
Oh, Stu Leach.
Stu Leach goes hard. Round about 5 out from halfway.
Shade's got it.
Pass from Broughton. Broughton will stir these forwards up. He'll wind these forwards up. Leach again. Leach has it. Comes off the right foot. Leach there, combative at the coast. Don't give an inch that they don't need to. Nice hands there.
Oh,
very good hands. A moment to go by Taina Pori.
Oh, that's a
Nick
zip.
Isidre.
That's a zip.
And the coast kick the ball out on the full. I love this rugby, Te Rangi Fraser. You know, sometimes rugby can have too much pattern. Sometimes Poverty Bay and East Coast can have too much structure. Sometimes they just got to cut loose. That's what I think. What do you think, Tobias?
Then just their last 2 minutes, like, the ball was over there.
Oh.
The ball was on the other side of the field, and then just that intercept from Te Rangi Fraser that he had on Patricio, just, oh my goodness.
Something else, Calvin Smith, Stu Leach, they get to Stu Leach. Made about 5 metres there the hard way. Make it the hard way, I did it my way. That's Taina Pori. Did he run into his shoulder, or did his shoulder run into him? Poverty Bay and the Coast, 7-0, the Coast by 7. Poverty Bay with some big boppers to throw shoulders at the Coast. Now towards the gap, holds it up, Keanu Taumata.
Oh, that was a big hit.
And he came at him hard. This is good, tough rugby. The warrior spirit of the Coast and the Bay. Stuart Leach has it. Stuart Leach, there in the Titchborn.
Stuart Leach.
He lowered his shoulder. Jody Tuhaka a little wider of that ruck to make a tackle. Poverty Bay probing around the fringes of the ruck. Poverty Bay starting to grind here, trying to impose their pattern on the game. Calvin Smith, as well as Tamatea, caught by Jody Tuhaka and company. Jody Tuhaka made the tackle on him. Looking to clear there. Leach gets it away. The Coast up flat on Poverty Bay, putting pressure on their pass.
Calvin Smith.
Calvin Smith gets bumped off. Calvin Smith, hand on that. I didn't see the ball go forward. Well, the ball did go down off Poverty Bay first. It is helter-skelter rugby. Rugby at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Thrilling rugby. One try, one conversion. But it won't stay that way. Tobias, the Coast is prepared to put pressure on the Bay. They're prepared to come up and pressure the pass.
Yeah, but that's what East Coast have been showing all game. They've been on their own 5. They've been showing all sorts of defence, and they've been locking Poverty Bay down to make sure they don't get a try.
Okay, number 8, Hone Hairewa will control if it comes back. I think it's wonderful to see Hone Hairewa back in the colours. Heartland 15 player, a number of Heartland 15 players out there. New Zealand Māori players out there. It's magnificent. The standard of rugby you can expect. Oh, hey, not expect, it's not in the future. The standard of rugby you're looking at now, the Croswells. Fantastic entertainment. On the official celebration of His Majesty's birthday here for the first time in 70 odd years, we've been able to say that. That's a clearer from Moana Baker.
Oh.
Te Rangi Fraser runs back towards the, towards where the scrum was set. Poverty Bay being spun around. That's Te Pehe Fairley.
Ricardo Patricio.
Patricio, now from inside the 22. The high return, the ball takes a bounce, and Patricio finds touch. On that far side, assistant referee Ben Holt. Turns out every week, hey, some of the same old faces, Tobias, some of the referees that we see in and out every week doing their best for rugby.
Yeah, Ben. Without the refs, rugby wouldn't be what it is today. Like, we've got to give thanks to all the different refs that we have. But it's weird not to see ref Paul Brown.
Yeah, the big boss? You're a fan of the big boss?
Yeah. Definitely a big fan of Paul Brown.
Yeah, no, he's a great man.
Oh, Chase.
It's Patricio again under the high ball. Does well now. Patricio did well
Oh,
there.
big hit.
Okay, the Coast and the Bay. They monkey flip to the halfway line. Boot to ball from Calvin Smith. Okay, excellent coverage. Is that Tarangi Fraser with boot to ball there? Tarangi Fraser there, and the ball takes a high bounce. In good position, saves it back. Croswell. Well, that's a long distance call made there by referee McPherson. But you've got to pay tribute to the hard work there of assistant referee Terry Reeves, who kept up with play and was in good position to make the call. I don't enjoy long distance decisions, but that was based on the assistant referee's call. He did well to keep up.
Yeah, Ben. I like how the bro, he tried. He tried to save it.
You know, it's a will I or won't I, should I or shouldn't I, to try and save the ball in the field of play. These guys out there, the Coast, sky blue, white, and the Bay, scarlet and white. Under Maini Quarter, they've played some good rugby in the last couple of years. But the Coast represent a special challenge. The Coast, of course, they hold the Lahore Cup. They hold the Anaru Skapainga Memorial Trophy. You know, they host they hold at the moment the Vice President's Cup. They've got everything. Well, I mean, it's incredible the gold they've got at the moment. The Bill Osborne Tonga, that's right. Then Vice President. I'm going to wind it back up. Ra Broughton of YMP, close to him. Ra Broughton will pressure him if possible, if at all possible. Hone Haidua now.
Penalty to Poverty Bay.
Okay, I think that was an infringement in terms of the bind. Exactly what it was, we honestly don't know, but certainly referee McPherson making a call clearly and decisively. Hakarangi Tichborne, the strong man, the soldier. Hone Haidua. Look at Lance Dixon there up at the front of the Poverty Bay line out.
Shade Scudder to come.
Nair Papuni of YMP at the back of the line out. Scudder throws it in.
Oh.
Okay, that's a superb take. Keanu Taumata, a magnificent take at the line out there by Keanu Taumata. Broughton with a short pass to Willis. Willis played his 200th Premier game for YMP last weekend. The ruling is offside by referee McPherson. Willis, the hip there, the hardest part of the body. And Calvin Smith. Magnificent player. Finds a great touch. The good players, Tobias, they do the simple things well, the little things.
Yeah, Ben, just been watching Calvin all game. His kicking game has been on point.
Calvin Smith skillful. And still can turn on the Jets. Shade Scudder for Harawira. Okay, won by Hone Haidua. Hone Haidua won the line out against the throw.
Oh.
Poverty Bay with some stern tackles. Calvin Smith with a tackle.
Oh, that's been
Co-captain of Poverty Bay have it.
Oh,
under advantage as well. That's Keanu Taumata. Keanu Taumata going for the corner was short. Poverty Bay trail by 7 points here. The Coast with one try, one conversion.
Harawira.
Yeah, Harawira Kokura. Here's Stuart Leach. He'll do something here, Stuart Leach. Stuart Leach.
Oh! Kean Westrup!
Poverty Bay have gone in to score. Kean Westrup. The blindside flanker, the big blindside, has gone over to score, and the score is 7 points to 5. One gets the feeling very strongly that Poverty Bay had to strike back quickly, and Tobias, from a Poverty Bay point of view, not a moment too soon.
Ben, you start off with their beat as one from the way they had. Oh,
Keanu Taumata, yes.
Keanu was away, and then the ball went all the way out to Stuart Leach, and then one Stuart was going down. That offload to Kean. Once Kean gets their ball, you better look out because Kean will not stop. He will hit you hard.
Man Mountain Kean Westrup thundering over the line there. It was like the breaking of the world. 7 points to 5. Ricardo Patricio, of whom a couple of questions have been asked, came up trumps on the second occasion. Ricardo Patricio, 7-5. There's something wrong with Stuart Leach.
Ooh.
I can't think what it might be.
I saw him limping over there before, Ben.
I know the feeling. 7-5 Ricardo Patricio. This to convert. This to draw level. This for 7-7. And it's now 7-7.
Patricio!
A thrilling game here at the Gisborne Oval. Grand old ground that it is. Stuart Leach will have to right himself before they restart. They can't start with Leach sitting there. And Leach is sitting there. And that's fine. I mean, he's injured. He's being taken care of. Putt splatter putt with Stuart Leach. 7-all. Poverty Bay hit back. Try to Kian Westrup. Both these teams well prepared, fit. Here's Westrup
again.
The big guy, the try scorer, starting to throw his weight around like the Incredible Hulk. Good effort there from Kian Westrup. Stabbing kick. Good kick from Broughton. Here's Fraser. That there. Trying to push the ball down to Patricio. Has it now.
What does Patricio do? Oh!
Wonderful tackle. And the coast, what's happening here? This is just play on. This is just rugby. Good rugby, I might add. Tiaho Morris did well. Fraser comes back. Big guy, isn't he, from first 5. Stands out in the crowd. Does Te Rangi Fraser. That's Jody Tuhaka. He's better to hold on to the ball. That's what he did, Tobias. It doesn't suit Jody Tuhaka to throw the long pass. Here's Hone Haidewa.
Oh, that was a big hit.
See an agonised...
And a penalty to Poverty Bay.
Look on the face of Hone Haidewa. Well, and Hone Haidewa's not going to take a backward step. He's going to stand his ground. And Poverty Bay, East Coast, arms being pushed away. Jody Tuhaka.
Gotta love the banter on this some sort of weekend, Ben. Always.
I tell you, you know what I admire is the fact that Jody Tuhaka didn't throw the long pass. How many front row forwards would have irresponsibly thrown a bad pass? Jody Tuhaka hung on to the ball. Poverty Bay have the ball. That was a poro there.
Kian Westrup.
Guys are going to have to try hard to handle him. And at the
Also
moment,
one from Kian.
Kian Westrup having a real influence on this game and running hard. Okay, Lance Dixon tried to get started.
He hit into his own player.
Ran into, I think, Jody. Here's Calvin Smith, the wizard. Calvin Smith gets caught. Goes to ground. Joe Royal ready to make the tackle on the next man up. Who is the next man up? Nehe Papuni. Fell on the ground. Well, a belly flop there from Nehe Papuni. Well, sometimes the problem is gravity. Okay, good pass.
Oh, Patricio.
Patricio up in the line there, Patricio. Really, sometimes you need big people to run at big people. Not so often little people. That pass was that pass was line ball, man, I'm telling you. Papuni. Okay, good stuff there.
Oh.
I love that. He can have 2, Purvis.
Oh,
okay,
lucky.
Pass to Teka Sidre, not what he needed. Mitchell Purvis can have an influence. What he can do, Purvis, sometimes he catches the ball, has the ball in 2 hands. You're not quite sure what he's going to do, Purvis.
Definitely, Ben. I think Smith just had a little hard time just trying to get that last puff just out.
Well, you just want to get it out there as quick as you can, but you know you have to pass it properly. I mean, I know where you want to send it.
Because if Teka CJ had got him that ball, he would have been away.
He would have had a crack.
He would have had it.
Here comes Joe Royal, excellent throw from Royal to Haidewa. And now to Fraser, big boot coming up. It's a high kick on his own side of halfway.
Oh!
Penalty the coast. To be honest, that particular kick from Te Rangi Fraser is not the kick I was expecting. I was expecting the box kick, the wipers kick. I wasn't expecting the up and under. 5 short of halfway. Te Rangi Fraser now to find touch. He is a big guy for a first 5. He's one of the biggest first 5s I've ever seen. Finds touch. Good gaining ground again. And I tell you what, assistant referees too is impressing me on the side. He's paying close attention. You can see there too the depth that the assistant referee gives himself so that he can help. They say there are 3 teams out there.
Starting to fill up here in the Oval even.
Oh, it is. They've come in, there are sausages. It's not the only reason they're here. Joe Royal to make the throw. Where is Hone Haidewa? Hone Haidewa, expert line out forward. Where is Haidewa? Okay, the Coast go a little deeper. Moana Baker, Fraser on the inside hit.
Just want to give a quick shout out to the 420 people that are on the Poverty Bay live stream for our YouTube.
Absolutely, they're tuned in because they know this is great rugby. I'm surprised it's not 4,000.
Oh!
We might get there. They lose the ball forward.
Oh, there's Patricio.
Patricio trying to counter attack.
Oh!
Under advantage, one would think. Unless the referee believes that's.
Oh, there's Cowan Westrup.
Westrup is big.
Oh, he's
hard to
still
handle,
on it.
broad, powerful. Was a superb ball for Gisborne Boys High School. Penalty to Bay.
Poverty Bay.
Hey, just while we've got a chance to let you know what's coming up, August the 12th, Poverty Bay's campaign begins against Buller. Of course, that weekend, East Coast are away. They're playing Wairarapa Bush. So the Heartland Championship to commence after the club season. The Oval has never looked better than Gisborne Oval. And of course, it was on this Queen's birthday so many years ago, can you believe, last time these teams met here, I mean, 50 or 70 years, the Queen's coronation. Tobias, you've done a good job with club rugby. Now this is rep rugby. How does it feel?
Ben, that's it. Waking up this morning and finding out that I was commentating this game, even when before I was hyped. I've been hyping myself up all week for this game because my family's East Coast, but we also have Poverty Bay as well. But it's awesome. Like over the years of Poverty Bay and us play East Coast rugby, I've always been at every single game, and it's really, really amazing.
The 100th year. I was hyping myself up for the ladder. I knew I'd have to confront it when I got here. Tobias and Poverty Bay. Leach.
Oh.
Well, that looks strange there at the back of that scrum. That's Calvin Smith did well to hang on to the ball. You know, that didn't look right at the scrum, actually. The number 8 was ready to clear, but I don't know whether or not Stuart Leach and Rob Broughton were quite on the same page. We now have an injured player, so out come the trainers again. Looking at the condition of the Oval, we've got a chance to go through some of the reserves. Would you like to give us these reserves here, Toby? So it's 16 to 23.
Yeah, Ben, for Poverty Bay, number 16 playing his Blazer game, Jeff Party. Number 17, Caleb Crisp. Number 18, my man Hayes Nevia.
Yeah.
Number 19, Fletcher Skirmel. Number 20, Seth London. Number 21, Caleb Tafati. Number 22, Genesis Bartlett Tamatua. And number 23, Casey Wilson.
Those are good reserves, actually. And just while we have a moment during this injury break, Tripoli Poi for the Coast, Tamisi Akana, Jaya Moore, Nick Croswell, Rico Takani, Jack Richardson, Ruatoria City. There's a player with a big heart. Josh Dearden of Uawa, their ace goal kicker, and Tafau Stewart, roots in Uawa. Joe Royal has gotten around so far. Calvin Smith has certainly made his presence felt. Stuart Leach, a couple of
Definitely
touches.
Stuart Leach.
But I think Keon Westrup's been as good as anybody.
Yeah, just all those runs, Ben. Like every time that Keon Westrup gets the ball, he still runs, and he's slippery.
He's hard to handle, isn't he? He's big. The big guy. Scrum here. And scrum
Big
here.
scrum.
The Coast have it.
Oh, there's Patricio.
Turning, the Bay around.
Oh.
The ball's going to go dead. And those are the things that you try, but I refuse to criticise players in this situation, Tobias. If you don't try anything, you don't achieve anything. You have to try things. You're going to make a mistake.
Yeah, it's not. It's always good to try new things, man. Definitely.
Oh, g'day, boss. I'm good. Tell you what, I'm enjoying myself. The Bay and the Coast. There's war out there at the moment, but really they're good mates. Fiercely competitive. Coast with a 43rd win. That's what they're aiming for. Poverty Bay with 126. The Coast certainly have excellent people in charge of them with Jose Gear and Kim Harris, people who know rugby, people who know what the game's about. They can teach these guys things, point things out to them.
Oh.
Leach there with a good pass now, Broughton
Oh,
with a
Tika
high
Sidre.
one. Tika Sidre has it to come off the sideline, comes off the sideline.
Oh, he's
Poverty Bay's
slippery
Tika
like a
Sidre
sausage.
showing good strength here, Tika Sidre. And Ra Broughton has it, he's strong too, Harawira Kokura. Ducks under a big hit attempt. Poverty Bay now with the ball. Ned
Oh.
Papuni. He'll settle it
Oh,
down.
big man.
And the big guy loses the
Oh.
ball forward.
Unbelievable defence.
Well,
shown by East
Tika
Coast.
Sidre did well coming down the sideline. He did well coming down the sideline. I thought Ra Broughton did well. Nan Papuni saw the line, was going to impose himself, but you've just got to hang on to the ball. Sometimes even these big guys, and rugby ball's like a pebble between their forefinger and their thumb, even they can drop the ball sometimes. 7-all. Couldn't be closer, couldn't be tighter, couldn't be better.
Definitely been with only 10 minutes left in the first half. The second half's going to be a goodie.
Second half, someone's going to run out of gas. We can't keep this up. 2 wonderful tries. Purvis and Apari in the midfield have looked dangerous actually for the Bay. Haven't had so many opportunities to create for the Coast. Seen Tarangi Fraser, a very wise move. Fraser going to first 5 to start the game. Get him involved. Tobias, you just don't know what's coming.
Oh, comes a big hurt.
Coast able to find good touch. Mitch Croswell, from memory, is about 6'5". He's a big guy. Oni Haidua, lift him. Richie Green. Ned Papuni at the back. Big number 1.
Oh,
Okay, it's
Haruera.
down to Broughton. Throw wasn't straight. That's Damien McPherson making the ruling. As a referee, you're under so much pressure. Players ask a question. They put you on the spot. And by God, you'd better have an answer. But to be honest, some of the wit over the years, the exchange, the banter between referees and players,
Oh, definitely.
some
been.
of it's brilliant. Some of it's not, but some of it's brilliant. Amawena Moana Baker. Good contest at the scrum. Bay there with an excellent scrum against the Coast.
Kick downfield.
Fraser there, the ball on an odd angle. Ball takes a high bounce. Takes a second bounce and now a third.
Oh,
Ricardo Patricio. Will he return serve? Ricardo Patricio there with a kick pretty well placed. Okay, Tarangi Fraser.
Oh, Wax
beats
City.
Tika Sidre. Gets as far as Keanu Taumata. Taumata trying to get over the ball. And
Penalty
the
to Poverty Bay.
Earn a penalty. Keanu Taumata. Ra Broughton. Was there a mark?
Oh, let's
They
have
run
it.
open. Okay.
Oh!
They now have the ball. They're looking good to beat.
Oh!
Got that pass away.
Oh!
And Poverty Bay through the hands. Through the hands.
That's been turned over.
Down to the floor. Like sands in the hourglass. Those were the days of their lives. Poverty Bay had a try right there. Oh, man. These are the young and the restless. Poverty Bay and the Coast. You can see the ball above you. Just reach up and out. You can't quite get a hold of it. Tobias, am I being hard? Have both these teams had opportunities and the last pass has been off? Is that a true statement?
Yeah, Ben. Like both plays, awesome plays. Could have been tries, but unfortunately, it is their last pass.
Well, you know, as I said, the Coast have got the Bill Osborne Taonga, they've got the Anaruska Panga Memorial Trophy. After that PJ Sayers Cup, play for that later in the year. Up will be our home base for the Coast. And now penalty the Coast. Players weren't quite sure what the call was going to be then. Thought there might be a line out or something coming. It's not the case. Excellent touch. So the Coast don't lack for big boots. Poverty Bay have had to play a fair bit of the first half in their own territory. 7-all. Poverty Bay with Nepa Puni and company. They were pretty good hands.
Oh.
Talk about hands. Sometimes you can ask too much of a teammate. Sometimes you can be overly ambitious. Poverty Bay and the Coast. Tobias, does this game do it for you? You look out there, you know these guys.
Yeah,
You've
Ben.
seen them play rugby. You've seen them get to where they are.
Definitely, Ben. Definitely with Poverty Bay. Like, we're watching all of these fellas all year. Nothing's changed. But what it is for me is like I like it when everyone that plays Prem's rugby, they all come together as one. That's what it is for me. East Coast, Ngāti Porou, haven't seen much of their games over the year, but just showing from today, you don't want to mess with them.
This is the first time they've been together. You know, you've got many different interesting philosophies in rugby. One, Poverty Bay going totally homegrown, you know, with locally based players. The Coast, of course, the only iwi-based team in New Zealand rugby, with players having an opportunity to come and join and trace their family lineage back. You know, I won't hurt the viewers' ears by trying to speak to it in Māori, but the truth of the matter is these guys run through their veins. Sky blue is the blood. And Poverty Bay wanting to start their representative season off in a big way. This is the start of the representative season. It's not the start of the Heartland Championship, but it is the start of the representative season.
Stuart Leach.
Did well there, Stuart Leach. Poverty Bay
Broughton.
getting over the gain line now. Rawiri Broughton, formerly player coach of Waikahu, now of course playing halfback and doing a great job with the Ko-Tamatea coach YMP, local competition premier grade leaders. 7 from 7 YMP, that's Shade Scudder, the captain of YMP and co-captain of Poverty Bay. Poverty Bay still with the ball in hand, that's Purvis.
Oh.
Okay, ball went back, it did go back, it's still going back. Purvis there caught, trying to free the ball up, make it available. Sometimes, and maybe I'm old-fashioned, you're best to hang on to the ball. Sometimes you try and force that tough pass in your own half, you can pay for it. Purvis, though, you can't fault the effort. Stuart Leach out there. He's a guy that leads by actions as opposed to words. He's a guy who sets an example to follow. Got that moon boot. Well, it's not a moon boot. He's certainly got the ankle strapped up. Wouldn't be allowed to play with a moon boot.
Dewar Rugby right there, Ben.
Oh, man.
Rowdy Broughton to come in.
Okay, Ryan Broughton feeds the scrum, big scrum
Oh.
from the Coast. Loose ball situation, and Tarangi Fraser has it. Can his power get into the line?
Oh,
No.
Patricio.
Patricio has saved the day there. He chipped and ran. He opted to chip and run.
Oh.
Some of the things you see in the modern game take your breath away. Patricio, 1 minute he's on his goal line, next minute he's chip and chase to attack. I can't believe it. It's sensational, this rugby. Look at the crowd over there, the happy round faces of the fans of the Bay and the Coast. A real family day out, lots of laughter. Laughter, love and rugby. Not necessarily in that order. Damien McPherson. How is he? Hearts and mouths there, Tarangi Fraser. He'll stay on the field if at all humanly possible. He'll walk it off. He's a rugby player, and back he comes. I love this rugby, you know. It's exciting, it's the spice of life. Tobias, where would we be without it?
Oh, Ben. When I found out that this game wasn't going to be played at Rugby Park this year, I was wondering to myself, where would it be? And then over the past 3 weeks, we've been here. It's awesome to see. Dave, just look at the back of the fence.
Huge.
Everyone.
On top of trucks, they're on top of cabs,
trucks.
they're on top of cabs and utility vehicles, otherwise known as utes. Look at them over there gawping from over the fence. You see the hoods? They love their rugby. Ra Broughton. Now the Coast, they've got to try and put pressure on Poverty Bay, and the Bay have to find touch, a big touch. Poverty Bay under pressure at the scrum, and now the Coast, Poverty Bay lost the ball forward at the set scrum, and the Coast there with a magnificent scrum. Honi Haidua. Come back, looks 10 feet tall in that sky blue. Poverty Bay with guts hanging on. Poverty Bay just shaking it off. Still 7-all, remember. Big crowd building up. Crowd getting bigger and bigger. And I must say, in terms of the way this game has been set out, the quality of the ground and everything else, it's very good. It's a credit to the home union. They've done a good job organising. It's a lot of work.
This will be the last play of the half too, Vin.
Yeah. Baker.
Oh!
And the coast in the corner. The coast in the corner is that Tipini Meihana. Over for now, 12 points to 7. So 2 tries to 1. The coast with the second. A magnificent scrum, Tobias. Yes, they went left. Yes, good passes. But to be honest, they were very strong at the scrum.
Yeah, Ben, just on that scrum, just watching from their first scrum, they wanted to make sure that they got that scrum, and they just showed it in their last scrum. Just pushing it forward, overlapping, having the same players, having more players on the left side, and because of that, they've now got a try, 12-7.
We've got Bailey Mackey here of the New Zealand Rugby Board. We've got big people here.
Bailey Mackey's my cousin.
Absolutely. Herald here in force. Te Rangi Fraser. It's amazing how people can move back from the sideline when they need to. I love it, Te Rangi Fraser. Height on the kick. He's got to get height. Now the height is important. So also the leap. Not to mention the angle. Here he is, Te Rangi Fraser. Te Rangi Fraser started out wide on the right, Tobias. There's a certain trick to it. Started out wide on the right. Te Rangi Fraser bends it back a little.
Unlucky.
Not quite enough. Okay, but it's 12 points to 7. 3 tries. Te Rangi Fraser. If anybody could have brought it back, though, it was Te Rangi Fraser. He can do no wrong at the moment. Poverty Bay to start off quickly. They need numbers up. Look at that there, Keanu Taumata. He was up quickly to halfway. Okay, that's Calvin Smith with good height. That's a good restart. Giving Poverty Bay a chance to compete. One of the coast players fell heavily. That would have been an accident, obviously. Poverty Bay have the ball now. That's Calvin Smith holds on to the ball. He is elusive. Got to get to him and quickly and put him down. As long as he's got the ball. Harawira Kokura now
Saw a
Stu
leash.
Leach.
Oh!
Poverty Bay forwards. Rambunctious over there on that left side. Poverty Bay at the moment trailing by 5 points. 2 tries to 1, that's half time. Tremendous, 12 points to 7. We'll take a break here on Rangai. We need to catch our breath. Last try in the corner, Meihana. What fantastic rugby. I'm first at the dinner table whenever I visit both teams. I can't
Yeah, true that.
Scores for you. Then we've got our new segment featuring the one and only Tobers. It'll be called
Getting down and dirty with Tobers. Followed by one of your favourite segments, Up the Guts, and followed by another segment we like to call City Baby. Let's go. Oh, and we're going to finish up on
next week's sports. Oh, this week's sports.
yeah. So without further ado, let's get right into those highlights. Let's go.
Red time. Three-time Brown from here, taking it to the ground. Brian Padawitta. And then, number 7 for OBM. That's another try for OBM.
Those are some crazy hits right there, bro.
Jeez. Crazy hits. Those hits, no, not crazy hits, boys. Not crazy hits. Those are for later. Those are some crazy highlights. Those dog highlights. But those highlights aren't going to be as crazy as the highlights to come.
Yeah, you already know that.
Those were only just tries.
We got a very special guest here, Tobias Horsfield.
Tobias, he's a commentator for us here at RMI Series, so he commentates our rugby games. He likes to make up words on the spot. What's this word? Silly sausage? Silly like a sausage?
Oh, mate.
Slippery like a silly sausage.
Yeah, bro.
Play the clip.
Braden Grant with the ball. Oh, we're slippery, silly like a sausage.
So this is Tobias's, as we like to call it, phrase of the week. Where he just comes up with a random phrase or word, and now he has to describe it. Like right now on the spot. So,
What is this sausage?
Describe the phrase "silly like a sausage."
It was slippery.
Oh, slippery.
Like a silly sausage.
Nah. So what it was, boys. So to all my OG fans out there that play rugby league live for, you guys will know. The bro had slipped through 6 defenders, and the word sausage just came to my head. So me and Cars were talking about
So
sausages.
you got sausage on the mind.
Yeah. Not like that,
sausage
bro.
on your
Bro. Shut that down. No. Me and Cars talking about commentary terms, and when the bro just slipped, bro, I just went crazy, like silly like a sausage, bro. Like.
So you and Kaz were talking about sausages.
I don't know what he was on about, but I think it was just him.
Oh,
I was
mate.
the guy behind the camera. He's the guy with
So let me get this right. Slippery, silly like a sausage is defined as,
Why is the sausage slippery?
as we were saying, slippery like a sausage is a term used by Tobias that defines a player that slips past multiple defenders like in a sausage-like way.
After you, I think we've had enough of the slippery sausage stuff. But we'll keep on the topic of Tobers here with his show, Getting Down and Dirty with Tobers.
I'm back. Welcome back to Wednesday Blues. I'm Tobias Horsfield. I've been sick and busy the past couple weeks. But not that anyone cares, but it's alright. I've got 2 guests here from Gisborne Boys High School, first 15, Ratu and Velocity for the boys.
Kia ora.
Welcome back, everybody. Rangai's live coverage on YouTube. Ben O'Brien Leaf and Tobias Horsfield. Just while we've got a moment, you in on the facts of the matter as far as form goes over the years. 2022, Poverty Bay placed 10th, and 2021, the Heartland Championship 5th. 2020 was cancelled, of course. 2019 8th, 2018 11th, 2017 8th, 2016 7th, 2015 11th, 2014 2nd, 2013 12th, 2012 8th, 2011 8th. The Coast, of course, reigning Lahore Cup champions. Hikurangi lead their club, it's not true. Hikurangi unbeaten, the only unbeaten team in East Coast Club Rugby. Still 1 win behind.
Whistle blows, second half.
Absolutely, and the Bay underneath it.
Oh, Kean
Good
Westrup.
hands. Kean Westrup had a very good first half.
Very good first half.
I thought his work rate was very high in the first half. Poverty Bay
First
win
penalty.
a penalty. And Kean Westrup leading by example, Tobias. Not a guy that gobs off. He's a guy that shows you how it's done.
Yeah, Ben, and just based on the town country game that was at Paratai, Kean Westrup, he dominated that whole game. There was not a time where I didn't see him with the ball.
He was superb. That Town and Country fixture is a very important fixture, actually. A chance to get some people together, see how combinations work. Of course, you also had the Senior 1 fixture as well out there. Shade Scudder, a very good thrower of the ball.
Oh,
Comes to the
turnover.
Coast, though, win it against the throw. Okay, the Coast have the ball. Tarangi Fraser will boot the ball, the tall first 5. Certainly been a big factor. Te Pehi Fairleaf
Oh.
changes direction, here's for the
Oh,
hole.
Te Pehi Fairleaf
Breaks
slippery like a
couple of
sausage.
tackles, good pass there. And
Oh,
Poverty Bay with good
lucky.
hands. Once again,
That's that last pass, Ben.
the battle is not to get it out wide. The battle seems to be to hang on to it. Poverty Bay and the Coast start off this second half of play. Once again, hard and fast.
That run from Te Pehi Fairleaf, Ben.
Ran on the angle, didn't he?
Yeah, he slipped past 2 defenders, got that pass out, and unfortunately the pass wasn't able to get out to their wing.
You've got to be able to hang on to the ball. You've got to be able to finish. Very early days. Remember, the score is 12-7. 5-point game, 2 tries, 1 conversion to the Coast, as against the converted try to the Bay. Here's Ahoni Hairewa. Now he's going to have a crack at Poverty Bay. He can take a licking, former Tokararangi captain, who won
Tarangi Fraser with that kick.
the Rangiora Kilo Memorial Shield with them.
Oh, awesome hands.
Lovely hands there. Quite spectacular. That was Te
Oh,
Aho Morris.
Patricio with the catch.
Ricardo Patricio now to bring the ball back on the angle. Had to try and get it a little to the right
Tarangi
there
Fraser
of Fraser.
again.
Fraser has the ball. Now he puts boot to the ball. It's a high kick. Here's Purvis underneath it. He's got good hands. Purvis experienced. Purvis summing the situation up, getting the pass away there. I believe it was Calvin Smith. Calvin Smith there in support. Poverty Bay awarded a penalty here by referee McPherson. So Lance Dixon encouraging Patricio. Still a youngster, Patricio, but a big heart, a heart close to bursting in terms of passion for his rugby. Rob Broughton hobbling around. I can understand why. Calvin Smith, the measured competence of Calvin Smith. Going to look long. The Coast, as the wisest do, watching the sideline. Calvin Smith got to make sure of his touch rather than try and go big. Fine touch, the safety of touch. Proves that the great ones can do both, go big and find the safety of touch. Calvin Smith is a class player.
Definitely, Ben. And it looks like we're going to have a sub for Poverty Bay. We're number 9, Rawati Broughton.
Rob Broughton's gone.
Caleb Tafari coming on.
Yeah. Caleb Tafari, a very good player, a very skillful player. YMP on debut. So this is his debut. Magic moment for any young player. Rob Broughton, a very good player. Not an easy man to replace, to be honest. Shade Scudder, one of a kind. Haraweda,
Oh.
he fought for that one. Here goes Dixon.
Oh,
Bang
both
going
are-
hard. Dixon can get pace up very
Still a
quickly.
Leach.
Leach going back hard there at the Coast. Trying to keep the Coast honest. That's Purvis. Lowers his head. Forges a path.
Oh,
Shade Scudder, the pivot there, the reverse pivot. Now I've seen everything. So Scudder coming back.
another penalty to Poverty Bay.
Poverty Bay get a penalty here. Do they look a gift horse in the mouth? They tap and run
Oh.
or kick a penalty. They weren't in the mood to kick a penalty. Down at the moment by 5. Poverty Bay on the line here. Close to the line, but you've got to retain possession. Got to get the ball back. If you don't get the ball back,
Another penalty to Poverty Bay.
you either use it or you lose it. Poverty Bay now have the ball. Will they not kick a penalty? Is that not in
Another
vogue?
tap.
Okay, they're going to run.
Oh, Willis Tamatea.
Willis Tamatea holds it up, does well there. Stu Leach has it. Stu Leach caught by 2, fell to the ground. Okay, now Keanu Taumata.
Oh.
So big the
Oh,
Coast
big
forward,
hit.
so strong. With hard tackle there.
Penalty to Poverty Bay again.
Penalty to the Bay, and this is kickable. The last one was kickable, as was the one before. And the Bay here. Sniffing a try here. Oni Hairewa coming up for a word there with referee McPherson. Damien McPherson giving clear instructions Poverty Bay once more going to find touch, obviously. Calvin Smith, near side. Shadows grow long here. Campbell Crisp about to enter the fray for the Bay.
Campbell Crisp.
Front forward, Ngatapa. Ngatapa, front row forward. Campbell Crispin, 17. Captain Campion College, I remember, to a couple of big wins at secondary schools level. That was years ago. That was at the college and at Rugby Park. Stuart Lynch stays in the field of play.
Another
Poverty Bay
penalty,
have the
Poverty
ball.
Bay.
Poverty Bay, their fourth successive penalty. That's Nair Papuni. Well, you know, sometimes the ground is a long way away. Nair
And that's a
Papuni.
yellow card, Ben.
Okay, one of the Coast players has been issued with a yellow card by referee McPherson. Poverty Bay been awarded a number of penalties. Calvin Smith finds touch. $12 to 7. Campbell Crisp is, as the kids say in the house. And you want to watch him close to the line too, Tobias, Campbell Crisp.
Definitely, Ben.
Strong. Okay,
Harawira
Harawira
Kaukura.
Kaukura, the bringer of rain. Excellent take. Poverty Bay's
Bosh.
low drive.
Bosh.
Shade Scudder has the ball. Scudder, the guy you've got to watch. You've got to watch Scudder.
Tafari.
Okay, that's Purvis.
what
Nice
a
pass to Calvin Smith. Brilliant pass. Necessity, the mother of invention. Good pass there, and now the Coast.
Turnover to East Coast.
They're awarded a penalty here. It was a very good pass from Purvis to Smith. But then referee McPherson found a penalty. Shade Scudder was also dangerous close to the line then. Wonder if these good people here assembled know just how dangerous he is that close. Lance Dixon saying it's our ball. Well, it's not their throw. Joe Royal, the leading try scorer in Auckland rugby a little while ago, or second actually, second on the table. Second leading try scorer on the table. Ben Holt having a word with Joe Royal. Try to come from Royal. Will it be Hone? No, they go to the middle. Poverty Bay, Hone Haidua has it now. Back over to Tanangi Fraser, turning his people back in. The Coast with some willing runners, but guys who haven't had that many touches of the ball lately. Early stages, second half.
Oh,
That's a nice catch there by Fraser.
Fraser
Goes
caught
to
his own
ground,
ball.
About 9 metres out from halfway as the Coast get running.
oh,
They are very dangerous when they get the
Oh.
ball some air. Well, you've seen what Mayhana can do to ground there and the Coast. Those blue and white socks. The Coast on the run. That's a very good effort. There was a Haidua to
Leach.
ground. Head bouncing around. The Coast have it. Time to run, Joe Royal. Joe Royal holds it up. Well there for
bonfire.
Manahi Tapoki. He's a gutsy player, got a big surname. Manahi. And plays to it. Poverty Bay and the Coast. Civil Project Solutions, Poverty Bay Weka. And the Ngati Pro East Coast
Big
Cowboy.
hits.
Now 11 metres into the Bay
Oh,
territory. Penalty award, and they're playing under advantage. The Coast have the ball. The Coast there leaves the ball out wide.
It's going to be a penalty. Penalty to Nuts play East Coast.
Advantage can be one of two things, tactical or territorial. And referee McPherson quite rightly rules there that they didn't have any advantage from that. 12 points to 7. Te Rangi Fraser. He knew he'd have to play a big game. These guys, the big name players from both teams, they just shrug their shoulders and get on with it. 12 points to 7, Te Rangi Fraser.
Fletcher Scammell coming on, Ben.
Okay, Fletcher Scammell. Now, Fletcher was supposed to be wearing 19, Tobias. Is that the case?
Yep.
Okay. Fletcher Scammell, high school old boys captain who's been injured. That's what's kept him out of the blue and white jersey, the blue and white hoops for high school old boys. Comes out here to play rep rugby. Shows where his heart is in rugby. 12 points to 7.
It's a very, very close game right now, Ben.
No addition to the halftime score. Coast have the ball. Baker.
Oh, they got an overlap.
Fraser makes a break here, makes a bust. And he is dangerous. Coast with numbers over there on the left. Royal carry.
Oh,
The Coast and the Bay really having a crack at Poverty Bay here. Key moment here for Poverty Bay. They've got a whole East Coast out here. Got to stop it from getting to 17-7. This is an unearthly mess. Rightly blown
That's
up
gonna
there
be
by
a-
referee
it's
McPherson.
going to be a scrum.
As a referee, you got to be right down the middle. One side desperately wants to give the ball back to Bias. One side wants to give the ball back, and the other is determined that they won't.
Definitely been just showing from that last ruck. East Coast, they were keen to get in there. Poverty Bay showing their defence.
How do you make that ruling? You don't want to be too hard on the team defending. You don't want to go overboard, in terms of the team that's got the ball.
It's a simple being, you just call a scrum.
You got, yeah. 12 points to 7. Patricio converting their first try. They needed that. We're stripped. 12 points to 7. Points to 7. Pone Hainua. 12-7 at the moment. The short one. Baker got a pass away there. Tarangi Fraser. Hold the big guy up there close to the line.
Awesome defence by Poverty Bay.
It is very good defence. It wouldn't be easy hanging on to the big playmaker. Another penalty here to the Coast as the pressure mounts. Pressure mounts. Tension mounts. These players feel the pressure. Poverty Bay want that Anaruska Paenga Memorial Trophy. At this particular level of rugby, the Coast have everything there is to win, and the Bay want it.
Oh, they're calling for that tap and run, or are they?
Well, Tarangi Fraser,
It looks like he's got the tap and run net.
I think he did the right thing too with the kick to Bias. You don't try to aim for 2 inches inside the flag. You just kick it straight out.
That's going to be very dangerous, though.
Very dangerous for Poverty Bay.
Yeah.
Coast have the line out. Coast going left.
Oh,
Rolling
Poverty
ball,
Bay
of
are
course,
pushing,
they're
though.
very famous for it. It's one of the features of their play. Something they do very well. Royal, don't take your eyes off Royal either. Well organised.
Penalty to Poverty Bay.
Okay, Poverty Bay get the loose head scrummage and feed. They did very well there to counter that rolling maul by the Coast, because all of New Zealand know that once the Coast gets that rolling maul cooking, once they're able to get over the advantage line with them, it's very hard to stop them. Even the best teams in the country conceded tries to that rolling maul. Poverty Bay desperate to get out of their own in goal. Well, no, not their own in goal, their own 22. They have shown great character, my knee quarters crowd. Shade Scudder and Calvin Smith, the right guys to lead this crew at the moment. Dan Law was their captain proper last year, is injured. Even he'd been nervous, chewing at fingernails, looking at this, with his team in the fight, with these great rivals, Poverty Bay and East Coast. 100 years since they first took the field. No man living now knows how it all started. All that remains to us are the records. I'm going to thank Kevin here for that as well. Rabs for his
Oh.
hard work on behalf of rugby with those records, and
Stuart Leach wasn't having that.
Bookie wrote excellent book on East Coast rugby. The Coast now with an opportunity to build something up. To Manahi out here. This at the moment is Morris. Morris, it's under one or two highish arms. Wana Baker, Te Rangi Fraser. Fraser, Will Bollingford. Powerhouse. Monsters Inc. Will Bollingford. The Coast, when they run out of ideas, they do the right thing. They hang on to the ball. Sometimes you may not have a plan cooked up necessarily. Was the mark set? There was a mark seemingly. Poverty Bay at the moment. Down to Poverty Bay, about to concede the first try of the second half. Okay, so it's 17 points now to 7. It's a 10-point game. Referee McPherson awarded the Coast the penalty. Poverty Bay had to scramble to try and get back. And Toby, they just didn't have time to scramble, and the Coast didn't allow them to get back.
Yeah, man, just in that penalty, unfortunate from Poverty Bay, but East Coast took their time, they took their chance, and it resulted in a try.
$17 points to 7, a 10-point game. The Coast there showing, rugby smarts. They had a tap, they saw Poverty Bay on the back foot, and they went straight at them. That is the play of an intelligent team.
And that was number 7.
Yeah. Well, he's outstanding. Bollingford made a couple of big runs. Bollingford so strong for Waiapu. For the Coast.
Oh, my man's getting ready to come on.
Well, here comes, before Hayes Napier joins us. Shot to come from Fraser there across the face of
unlucky
goal.
kick.
17-7, 10-point game, and Hayes Napier,
Hayes Napier.
the tank without treads.
Let's go.
For Lance Dixon.
Lance Dixon had a very awesome game today.
Well, Lance Dixon's a big guy, but Hayes Napier, the shoulders on Hayes Napier, reminds me of a wrestler I used to know called Mark Henry. And he is a Mark Henry type presence. Frankly, my favourite was Viscera, but that's different. Okay, restart of play from halfway, 17-7, 10-point game. Bondi Hideaway carrying the ball strongly. Coast up by 10. Poverty Bay
Poverty Bay
awarded a
penalty.
penalty here. Now, of course, they can tap and go quickly too. They can. Poverty Bay have opted to have a crack at the Coast. They haven't kicked too many. Well, they haven't taken a shot at goal, I don't think. Certainly not penalty. One conversion, of course. Fine touch there, Calvin Smith. Very good kick. Didn't waste any time either there. Found the line quickly. You need your good people to be able to do that, don't you? To buy just the little things. Fine touch. Not a lot's going to happen if you can't find touch.
Oh,
That line out
unlucky.
there doesn't work.
Oh,
Coast have the ball. They're not going to find touch on this occasion either. This is Tikasidre.
oh,
Run back the
Tikasidre.
14. Strong, low to the ground. Wouldn't be an easy guy to tackle, I wouldn't think.
Oh,
Here's
Store Leach.
Leach to the line. Nice
Patricio.
pass. Patricio there!
Patricio!
He makes Patricio! Patricio holds it up! Caleb Tafari, the reserve halfback, has gone in to score. Reserve halfback, Caleb Tafari. It was 17-7, now it's 17-12.
Awesome. That was awesome. Awesome comeback. Just that run coming on from Stuart Leach to Patricio, and from Patricio to Caleb Tafari to finish it off. Ben, what an awesome. That's like what, 3-4 minutes in? 3-4 minutes like so far, and there's 2 tries.
Patricio is one of those players, a young player with some flair and some speed. And every now and then, you know, it's going to be a hard catch or whatever it is. However, on the other hand, can come up with some magic. That was a beautiful pass. Caleb Tafare on debut with a try. And what a special thing it is to have a moment like that so early in your representative career.
Patricio to come.
Patricio's kicked the only goal for the Bay. Now the score is 17 points to 12. This for 14. Okay, Patricio
unlucky.
slightly to the left there. The disappointment obvious. 17 points to 12. Seems to have a fan club there, Tobias. The ladies right in behind Ricardo Patricio.
The ladies love Ricardo Patricio.
Okay, the
Short
coast
kick.
restart. Didn't travel 10 metres. That was Willis Tamatea on the ground there. Shade Scudder. The Bay will use it. Tafare getting the pass away. Fletcher Scammell there with a good strong surge. Went low. That's it. Comes with a long kick.
Oh, there's Patricio.
Okay, and Poverty Bay and the coast.
Tekasidre.
Dangerous to everybody, that kick. Tekasidre, nobody attacked the ball. Catch it on the full. Poverty Bay, last team to score. That's Stuart Leach, all arms and legs. Caleb Tafare to clear. Everybody's onside at the moment. Smith there snaps the pass. Shade Scudder caught. I think that was a Royal.
Lost.
Okay,
East
he lost
Coast
the ball
ball.
forward. The rugged customer, Joe Royal. Harm's had a good game, the halfback. He really has. Croswell back out there, Nick Croswell. I think earlier on was issued with a yellow card. For what reason, we don't know, but that's what happened. (17 to 12), 5 points in it, just a try. Jack Richardson could be out there soon in 21 for the coast. So also could Seth London for the Bay. Seth London wears 20 for the Bay.
Also Jeff Party.
Yep, Jeff Parr. Now there's a magnificent player.
Jeff Party playing his 30th game for his Blazer.
30th game today. Won the Lou Patterson Cup Senior 1 with the magnificent Waikohu team. Also won the Lee Brothers Shield. No nicer guy on the planet.
Penalty, Poverty Bay.
Bay awarded a penalty here. And Calvin Smith comes forward. Calvin Smith. And what he does, Calvin Smith, it's a mixture of the brilliant and what would seem to be pretty straightforward. But a guy like that doesn't miss touch. Calvin Smith. You've got to do the basics. And Poverty Bay now with a clean catch. They have guys who can get up. Fletcher Scammell's a good ball winner. Keanu Taumata's a good line-out forward as well. Harawira Kaukura, where is he? He's left the field. So Fletcher Scammell and Keanu Taumata. It is Taumata. Taumata wins the line-out. So Poverty Bay are well organised. Good work by their forwards.
Poverty Bay making the move, Ben.
Yep, they are. They're working hard. 17-12, 5 points in it.
Oh, referee nearly fell over there.
Poverty Bay still have the ball. Stu Leach going forward. Did he lose the ball on the ground? No, got to ground pretty well.
Oh,
Okay, and Poverty Bay's Calvin Smith
Oh.
asks the question. It's
Keon
Keon Westrup. Keon Westrup on his back. 17 points to 12. Poverty Bay with a big push. Poverty Bay another push. And a little push to go with the big push.
yeah, that's another try for Poverty Bay.
And Poverty Bay with a tremendous try here, their second try here. in the
Tane
second half.
Apodi.
Apori gets a try, and all of a sudden, the scores are level. Well, Tobias from the pit of despair. Poverty Bay here in the second half have come back with a couple of tries. It's tough to play at home. It's tough to be under the hammer, but they've come back with a couple of tries.
Then, just it started off with they were 5 meters just before the line. If East Coast had just hold it on just for a little, like another 10 seconds, they would have got their ball. but just awesome play there from Poverty Bay.
Patricio now for the lead. It would be Poverty Bay's first lead. Patricio has kicked the goal. The conversion there from Patricio. And for the
19,
first time,
17.
Civil Project Solutions, Poverty Bay Weka 19 points to 17 over Ngāti Pro East Coast as the plot thickens.
Awesome game for these two fellas running off, Ben.
Okay, Baker, Moana Baker takes a break. I think he's been awesome, Moana Baker. We started play for the Coast.
Oh, here comes Hayes
Hayes
Napier.
Napier, the massive
Oh,
reserve
Hayes!
front row forward, really flying into the Coast. Now Calvin Smith with a high, beautifully placed. That is a
That's
wonderful
an awesome
kick there
kick.
by Calvin Smith. Probably an even better result as he forced the big guy towards the sideline. Ball is in the field of play, caught by Westrock,
Go
over to Leach.
legs.
Calvin Smith has it. Oh, and Calvin Smith there with a long kick, a magnificent strike.
Awesome kick. There goes Tikasidro. Oh. Imagine the try that would have been if Tikasidro would have got there.
The genius there of Calvin Smith, his vision, his summing up of the situation, his option taking, and his touch, his deft touch with the boot. Calvin Smith is a classy player, simple as that. The Coast now to restart. Hey, there's no science to this. You just go long as you can.
Oh, what a kick.
Poverty Bay have the ball now. Stuart
Stuart
Leach
Leach.
lifts his knees up.
Oh.
Knees up, Mother Brown, Stuart Leach. Poverty Bay with the ball and a 2-point lead. Is that Purvis? Ball in one hand, under one arm, one wing. Look at Poverty Bay still battling inside the Coast 22. Up by 2 points in the second half. Patricio there with a stab kick. Very good kick by
Tikasidro.
Patricio.
Oh,
Tikasidro.
unlucky.
As Patricio with the bag of tricks lets another one out of the bag. You know, Patricio's confidence is growing. It's actually grown during the course of this game. Crowd definitely 1,500. There's no question about that. It's a big crowd here. Poverty Bay and the Coast in perfect conditions at the Gisborne Oval on the King's birthday. And the Coast there with the touch. Substitutions about to come in. Seth London out there in 20. Also out there in 22, Casey Wilson.
Casey Wilson.
Well, there stands Casey Wilson.
Awesome game for Keanu Westrop.
Oh no, hang on a second. Sorry, that's a Genesis Bartlett Tamatea, I'm sorry. Genesis Bartlett Tamatea in 22. Apologies. Kanu Taumata. Calvin Smith down the line. Decides to find a run there. Calvin Smith. Great speed and strength and support. Looked to be Seth London with a first touch of some importance. That's a Willis Tamatea to ground. Sets play up. Does well there. Poverty Bay. Okay, Hayes Napier. Poverty Bay receiver penalty here. Up at the moment, 19 points to 17. They kick this, would give them a 22-17 lead. (22-17). Traditionalists and others would agree that Poverty Bay, this is prudent. Take the shot. They're up by 2 points, 19-17. They've had to fight doggedly to get the lead. Coast dominated the game early on, dominated throughout the entire first half, really. But Poverty Bay have hung in. Tobias, how much courage have they shown?
Well, Ben, just from that first half, I think that Poverty Bay have showed so much determination. They've held on, they haven't given up. And because of that, they now lead 22 points to 17, Ben.
Well, you know, the truth is sometimes you have to play from behind. You know, you can't always lead by 20 points. Sometimes you've got to struggle, and sometimes you've got to suffer in the process. Jeff Parry out there. Jeff Parry plays his rugby with a smile. Jeff Parry plays his rugby the right way. So also does Campbell Crisp. He also has lifted the Lee Brothers Shield. Not here at Rugby Park, obviously, but they've experienced the highs and lows of rugby, and they know what it takes to beat East Coast. They'll have lost to the Coast and won against the Coast. They know which one tastes sweeter and which one tastes better, and which one tastes like old boots. The Coast here waiting for the ball. Trailing at the moment, 17. 22. Fletcher Scammell went down. Stuart Leach there with a shoulder again into Jack Richardson. Jack Richardson, inch for inch, pound for pound. One of the most determined players you'll ever see, especially as a forward. Calvin Smith now extends the foot, really put something on that one.
Oh, what a kick.
Forcing them back as that Dearden back there. Stuart Leach has played a big game, hasn't he? Had to. Okay,
Definitely,
and the Coast,
Ben.
tap and run here. Is that Fraser going to run from here? Counter attack from the Coast. They know no fear. Here's Richardson there with a hack. And Stuart Leach has it. Ball bounces off his stomach into his hands. Calvin Smith has it. Will he now chip? He will chip. You could see him lining him up. It's Poverty
Oh, he's got that.
bounce. The Coast get a hand in there. The Coast get a hand in there and they stop it. They snuff it out. They had to. Calvin Smith, once again, his artistry, his creativity. It's a privilege to watch that performance. Really is. The Coast and the Bay. Toby, I said it before, I'll say it again. I can't imagine a place I'd rather be, or people I'd rather be with, or something I'd rather be doing.
Ben, definitely, like, just the atmosphere here today at the Oval is just amazing. Like, I would say there's over 1,500 people here now.
The crowd behaviour too has been very good. The Coast fans, Poverty Bay fans, they've been very, very good. Supported both teams. Put a flea in your ear when they think you need it.
Big push here. Oh,
Getting put under a little bit of pressure there. Poverty
oh,
Bay
nice
have the
catch.
ball.
Oh, that was a big hit.
Okay, it was a very strong hit. Poverty Bay have the ball.
Jeff
Going to
Parry.
allow play to continue. Parry takes it. You can put bruises on Jeff Parry. Poverty Bay coming again. Poverty Bay on the ground there. Bodies are falling all over the place. Poverty Bay still have the ball. Guys are falling down. Guys are hurting. Okay, referee McPherson. There's a hard hit over there. One of the things I've enjoyed about referee McPherson's control of the game today, Toby, he hasn't dominated proceedings. He's issued one yellow card. He hasn't tossed cards around. He's let these guys play. The haka at the start was wonderful. Was, you know, a tremendous part of New Zealand rugby every time you see it. But the way these guys do it, they know what they're doing, and it comes, by God, does it come from the heart.
Yeah, Ben, both teams have showed awesome grit today. Or both teams should be proud of each other. Like, first half with East Coast, definitely. Second half, Poverty Bay.
Poverty Bay has really shown a lot of character. And by the way, thank you too to Phil Allen, Gisborne Scaffolding, getting this up for us. So wonderful to have a decent seat. Not have big guys standing in front of you. Okay. Ball went in the direction of Willis. Here's Patricio to pick it up again. Now he could do anything.
Oh!
Patricio splits the Coast.
Slippery.
Patricio, here in the second half, after a tough start to the game, has bounced back Patricio. He's shown me something. Keanu Taumata with the corner, kicks ahead, chases and gets there and scores. It was a try. Keanu Taumata has come up with one of the finest tries in 100 years of Poverty Bay versus East Coast in this fixture. On the King's birthday, Keanu Taumata has gotten around the corner. He came around the mountain and he scored. Over there in the right corner, the fetcher, the number 7. You got to be fit. You got to be fast. You got to have guts. And you've got to get there. You've got to be on the ball, and he was.
What a play, Ben. Just that catch by Patricio to Stewart all the way out to the wing to Taumata, and he just goes and grabs it across the ground and picks it up. What a try.
Just courage and gallantry. That's what it is. Poverty Bay now up 27 points to 17, a 10-point gap for the first time. You know, Poverty Bay They trailed the Coast by 10 points at one stage. And now it's the Coast who are behind by that score.
We only literally have 5 minutes left in the half, Ben.
27 points to 17, a 10-point game. This for 12. This would make it extremely difficult for the visitors to come back. 27-17. Patricio, long way back. Long way back, Patricio got it.
Patricio's got it.
An incredible kick. Ricardo Patricio. 4 seasons in one day. This young man has shown incredible courage. The first knock on of the game, Patricio, and there a magnificent kick. By God, what a comeback.
29-17, Ben.
This amazing rugby. Fletcher Scammell underneath it. Hayes Napier. 2 guys hit him. They look like kittens. Hanging on to mum. It's Calvin Smith.
Oh, what a
Fraser's
kick.
underneath it.
Oh!
Okay, on the chase there, Poverty Bay, there's Casey Wilson. Excellent work by Casey Wilson for Poverty Bay. Put boot to it, I think there's
Jeff
Seth
Parry.
London. Jeff Parry. So how about those reserves? Yeah, Casey Wilson, Seth London, Jeff
Ben,
Parry.
not reserves, finishes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Finishes,
but
Ben.
You're right. You're right. Look at that, Poverty Bay. Still going forward. Now they're penalised here. Hanging on to the ball. And the Coast know that time is short and the time waits for no man. The Coast with the ball. Now they work feverishly to use what time they have that remains on the clock. The sheer thrill of rugby. It's, as I said before, there's no such thing as a boring game of rugby.
Never been, not this game today, Ben.
Our national game on the King's birthday. 75 years of age this year and had to wait 70 years. 70 years for a crack. It's a long time to wait. Okay, throw to come from Joe Royal, the appropriately named Joe Royal. Hone Haidua, tightened at the line out. Jack Richardson, Mr. Never Say Die. The Coast. Got guys out there who want to do something.
Oh, Seth.
Who are determined. Here's Hone Haidua.
Oh, Hayes bumped off.
And a Hayes Napier, Hone Haidua. Fraser there tried to get a kick in. Couple of kicks charged. Hone Haidua meets Hayes Napier. Hayes Napier meets Hone Haidua. And man meets ground. Man, that was tough.
Man meets ground. Never thought I'd see Hayes on the ground in this game, Ben.
Oh, man. To knock Hayes over takes the strength of 10 men. Throw to come. Fletcher Scammell there with a good win at the line out. Man, is he fighting. What a gutsy player. Fletcher Scammell. Poverty Bay have turned it over though. Caleb Tufati, a try scorer. Couldn't save it for them. Poverty Bay have turned it over. Fletcher Scammell won the line out. Now some of these big front row forwards, Samisi Akana and company, Jai Moore and company.
Poverty Bay hanging on here today, Ben.
Well, they lead at the moment, 29 points to 17. They have a 12-point lead. Trying hard, the Coast. Not finding terribly much space at the moment. They've got to go forward before they go any wider. Jack Richardson running hard there and fell heavily, Jack. The Coast. Next challenge is to try and stay in the field of play.
Ball has gone out.
29 points to
Defense.
17. Every year this game is exactly the same. Rugged and no big pardons. That's exactly what it's been again. It's been clean, but just hard beyond hard. 29-17.
Now throw to come here.
Guys are going to need an ice bath or a hot shower or whatever it is that they need to get back into shape after this.
Definitely.
I must admit, I don't understand the ice bath concept, but here come the Coast on the drive. Remember, they're trailing at the moment by 12. Trailing by 12. The Coast, though, got enough time for a couple of tries.
Trailing.
And the Coast here really with a huge shove. Coast there, that's a penalty. Coast has awarded a penalty here. They trail 17-29. Poverty Bay trying to hold the Coast on the goal line. Guys are feeling the pinch.
Referee gonna be
These
talking
teams
to
have really
Ayala.
put on a good show. Players are down. Referee Damien McPherson played one game for Poverty Bay, was a Ngarapa boy in his time. From memory, it was a Ranfurly Shield Challenge. It was 2008. My goodness, how the years have flown. They really have. Poverty Bay and Ngati Pro East Coast. The famous Sky Blue since 1999. Hamuena Moana.
Oh,
About to get back on the field. Coast want the ball. Got to get it wide now. Poverty Bay have held them here. Ruling there is offside. Guys are exhausted.
Oh.
Poverty Bay and the Coast have a very positive relationship these days. These are two unions, two of the smaller unions in the country where pride is infinitely more important than money. And you see that with the family support they get, the distances they have to travel to train. Sometimes they only get together the night before they play. Yet for all that, the unbreakable spirit of Ngati Pro East Coast Rugby and, of course, Poverty Bay, who have worked extremely hard. More than 100 years, same as the Coast, lasted 100 years. Union survived 100 years through thick and thin. Poverty Bay, who've won the National Second Division title and the Lahore Cup countless times. Meads Cup semi-final a long time ago. Too long really to remember clearly. Damien McPherson. He's got trainers. Now the trainers want to know if he wants something. He said yes. Lovely lady that too, Gina Chaffee-Opori. Comes out to help the players from both teams and the officials.
we've got Keanu Westrup just come back on.
Yeah. Keanu Westrup. No sooner had he sat down for a breather than he's up and running again. If you can move, you're playing.
Oh,
Strong stuff here from the Coast. Down by 12 points, but far from beaten. Their view is that, hey, we're never beaten, we just ran out of time. Penalty now, Poverty Bay.
Hey.
Poverty Bay's industry, their ability to not just achieve a lead, a 12-point lead, but now to hang on to it. They haven't shut up shop. They've just been put under pressure and they've responded. As the great Yoda said, you either do or do not. There is no try. Calvin Smith there with a whopping boot. 29 points to 17. Calvin Smith is a seasoned veteran, but I'll make the point again. Tobias, it would have been so easy for Ricardo Patricio with the first ball going down to go into his shell, but he hasn't done that. Instead, he's flown.
Definitely, Ben, and it's been an awesome game for Patricio.
It's wonderful. Guys are feeling the pinch, they really are. That was Willis Tamatea winning the line out. Poverty Bay getting the ball behind the point at which actually the line out was taken. Stuart Leach, his umpteenth carry. How much of himself has he poured into that red jersey? How much of it is deep red as opposed to scarlet?
Genesis Bartlett.
Yeah, number 22. I called him 23 before, that was wrong. 23 is Casey Wilson. Also played well since he's gotten on. These reserves, these finishers, as you tell me, Toby, as you remind me, and good on you for reminding me, guys have actually come out here and added something.
Oh!
Okay, well that's a penalty to the Coast. And it's a yellow card. Was that Calvin Smith?
Yeah, he was quick to acknowledge the fact.
Yeah.
He was sorry.
Now, being quick to acknowledge it doesn't get you out of trouble, but certainly it's much appreciated. Here's Tudangi Fraser trying to buck his way through. Now Calvin Smith trying to get onside. No, not get onside, get off the field. Also on the 23 now is Tafau Stewart. Played for Uwawa. Was a part of their championship winning run of a few years ago. Okay. getting annoyed there, Hamuena Moana Baker. A little bit cross there with Caleb Tupare.
Oh,
Two
get off me,
halfbacks.
Campbell Crisp.
Joe Royal, Calvin Smith. Okay, as in go the Boots, they want the ball back the coast. Realise the time is running out. Here is Tanangi Fraser, and here he comes. Good strong stuff here from the coast. Going down the middle, making some ground. You've got to get over the gain line.
And that's a penalty.
Penalty now,
Bay.
Poverty Bay. Referee McPherson in the second half. He's as straight as they come. And he has picked both teams up for infringements. Poverty Bay, kick for touch. And Poverty
And that is
Bay,
it for today, Ben.
Poverty Bay have won the game 29 points to 17 on King's birthday. Here in 2023, they have come up with a come-from-behind win, a 12-point win. Tobias Horsfield, the coast put so much pressure on them, and yet they came back to win it.
Yeah, Ben, awesome game. Awesome game. First half shown by East Coast. Their first try shown by East Coast, and then straight after that, try to come from Poverty Bay. East Coast had their half. They were leading it at half-time. Second half, Poverty Bay just showed them they could do anything if they just put their minds to it, focus on it, and don't give up. They didn't give up, and look what happened.
You can only get to the top of the mountain if you've got somebody behind you pushing you hard to make you take that extra step, to crawl hands and knees, and that is what they did, and that's what they came up with. That is a fantastic performance against the Lahore Cup holders of last year. This is the team that put Mid-Canterbury away, and Barsan Parks, their Ian Kirkpatrick medal-winning halfback and captain of that season, just about all of those personnel were out there, played a big part in that win. 29-17, a massive win for Mine Quarter and for Civil Project Solutions, Poverty Bay Weka, all the people behind the scenes. Tobias, what did Poverty Bay do well? What did they do well?
Well, first off, then, their teamwork was on. They had each other's backs. Second of all, they did not give up. Whether it was they had an overlap, Knights Play had an overlap on them, they didn't give up. Even the littlest of boys, like the littlest of men on that team, were running it up at all the big men. Like, all of that just shows that Poverty Bay is the team.
Well, you corrected me quite rightly when we talked about them not being reserves, but actually finishers. And there was a sequence over here where you had Casey Wilson, you had Seth London, you had Jeff
Genesis.
Parry, and Genesis obviously was really good with a few touches. But those guys got out there and they really made a big contribution. OBM, of course, hosting the fixture over there at the club rooms. Poverty Bay hosting the fixture, the Oval, the Gisborne Oval. Ray Noble, CEO of the Rugby Union, can be pretty pleased with this. I think his people did a great job in organising this day. Every box has been ticked, and the coast, I'm sure, appreciate the efforts that were made on their behalf.
Yeah, Ben, and like I said before, both teams, they can both be proud of themselves. But at the end of the day, Poverty Bay certainly took it out.
This is a confidence boost that Poverty Bay needed and have worked very hard to achieve. A Jose Gear coach team, no matter whether he's got 48 hours or 2 weeks to sort them out, is going to be a competitive team. There were 12 points between them at the end, but it has been a wonderful day. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as far as I know, that's about all we've got here on Rangai, our live coverage here on YouTube. Ben O'Brien, Leaf and Tobias Horsfield, privileged to sit next to Tobias. I don't know whether it's so much of a privilege to sit next to me, but certainly having seen this, game number 174 is done and dusted. Poverty Bay now with 127 wins in the fixture. Unforgettable stuff.
Yeah, Ben. Just a quick shout out to When the Whistle Blows. Quick sports roundup that me and a few of the course pros are featured on, and we do in our course time. But yeah, every Thursday on YouTube, Rangai, When the Whistle Blows. If you want to see highlights on this game and any other game that happens on Saturdays, When the Whistle Blows, Rangai.